From the disappearance of the Eagle artillery to the arrival of the Guardians, a brand new permanent troop, and even a premium cosmetic shop, the Town Hall 18 update delivered changes on a scale nobody was prepared for. It didn't just tweak features, it completely redefined what we believed Clash of Clans could become. And now, more than ever, the future of the game feels wide open today. I want to break down these major additions and what they tell us about where the game is heading next. So, let's jump straight into it. The first big shift we have to discuss is the introduction of an actual story moment tied directly to upgrading your Town Hall. For the first time in Clash history, reaching Town Hall 18 triggers a full cinematic sequence rather than a simple visual upgrade. When you start the upgrade, you're shown a meteor streaking out of the sky and smashing directly into your Town Hall 17, wiping it out completely. Afterwards, the builder salvages pieces of the meteor and uses them to construct Town Hall 18. And once it's built, you're required to clear away the meteor fragments yourself to fully reveal the new hall. A small but immersive touch that makes the upgrade feel more like an event than a routine building timer. This marks the first time Supercell has woven actual narrative progression into the core gameplay loop, and it strongly hints at their new direction with story development. And with the upcoming Netflix animated series on the way, this feels like the early stages of a more connected Clash universe. For over 10 years, Clash of Clans has had almost no real lore. Yes, we had the goblin maps and scattered bits of flavor text, but nothing that formed a continuous narrative. Clash-orama existed, but it wasn't official canon, so it never added true lore to the game. But now, with the meteor crash, the builder's reaction, and the introduction of the Guardians emerging from that meteor, we're clearly seeing Supercell define in-universe reasons behind new features. Instead of things just appearing with no explanation, the game is finally tying updates to story events. This opens up countless doors for the future. Supercell can now justify adding almost anything: new mechanics, new defenses, new troops, by embedding them into narrative moments like this one. It makes the game feel more alive and gives players more to anticipate beyond just stats and upgrades. If Clash can reach even half the level of world building that Brawl Stars currently has, it could strengthen the community in a huge way. Moving on to the second major change, the complete removal of the Eagle artillery at Town Hall 18. This is one of the biggest surprises in the update, because it is the first time a major defense has been fully phased out of the game, beyond a certain Town Hall level. At Town Hall 17, the Eagle artillery was fused with the Town Hall to create the Inferno artillery weapon, which was already a bold move. But at Town Hall 18, the entire weapon is gone, meaning the Eagle artillery, one of the most iconic defenses in the game, is no longer present in any form. This is completely unprecedented. Merged defenses introduced at Town Hall 16 still retained recognizable characteristics from the original buildings. Merged archer towers still behaved like upgraded archer towers. But at 18, Tai-Bat, the Eagle, isn't merged, transformed, or redesigned. It is simply removed and replaced by the new Guardian system, a defensive mechanic that is completely different. This change proves that Supercell is no longer afraid to delete old systems entirely if they limit future design. It also signals that other legacy defenses could be replaced someday. As well, we're already seeing simple defenses evolve into more advanced forms through merging, like cannons, archer towers, and now wizard towers. If this trend continues, even endgame defenses like the Inferno Tower or Monolith might eventually be cycled out or reworked entirely. It sounds wild, but this update shows it's no longer impossible. Honestly, this might be good for the long-term health of the game. As Town Hall levels continue to grow, bases would eventually become overcrowded and too cluttered to add meaningful new mechanics. By pruning older defenses and replacing them with modern systems, Supercell can keep base building interesting without overwhelming players with endless structures. The Guardian system takes this idea to a new level. It isn't just a merge or upgrade, it's a full replacement. That brings us to the third major change, the Meteor Golem officially joining the permanent troop roster. Originally, this troop existed only as a limited-time event unit, but with TH18, Supercell has made it a permanent part of the game, something that has never happened before with a home village temporary troop. We've had plenty of temporary troops over the years, some extremely popular, but none were added permanently. A few made their way into the clan capital, but that doesn't really count the same way. The lava launcher puppet wasn't a true troop either. It was tied to a hero ability and barely used. The Meteor Golem breaks this pattern, and its permanent status sets a precedent that other event troops could eventually return as real units. This is great news, because many temporary troops through the years were genuinely fun and heavily requested by the community. Supercell could now use event troops as prototypes for future releases, giving them a way to test new concepts without committing immediately. And the Meteor Golem itself is mechanically unique. It consists of two meteor cores that split apart, with the meteorites able to hop over walls while the golem itself cannot. This gives it a level of movement flexibility we rarely see in tank troops. Looking back, it's almost obvious that the Meteor Golem was teasing Town Hall 18 the whole time. The Meteor theme was right there, and nobody realized. Now onto the fourth major change, the Guardians. These are a completely new defensive system, unlike anything that's ever existed in Clash of Clans. Guardians are mobile defensive units that walk around your town hall on predetermined patrol routes. You get to choose between two variations, each with its own strengths. The Smasher Guardian is a melee attacker that deals splash damage and enters a rage mode when the town hall falls. The Longshot Guardian attacks from a distance and detonates when defeated. Every other defense in the game is stationary, so having patrol-based moving defenses is a massive shift in the design philosophy. You can even tap a Guardian to preview its patrol route, which adds a whole new dimension to base building. Base designers will now need to think about where the Guardian travels, rather than just where a building sits. On top of that, choosing between different Guardians gives players a new layer of customization that never existed for defenses before. This mechanic has massive potential. At Town Hall 18, we start with two Guardians, but future Town Halls could easily introduce more variants with new behaviors and patrol patterns. Just like siege machines expanded over time from a handful to a full roster, Guardians could evolve into a large category of defensive customization. This opens the door for deeper, more strategic base layouts and adds unpredictability for attackers. Another great addition is that if your Guardian is upgrading, the lower-level version still appears during wars and ranked battles. This solves an issue that heroes still suffer from and shows Supercell is designing with convenience and fairness in mind. Overall, Guardians are one of the most innovative parts of this update, and they clearly show Supercell is pushing to add mechanics that feel fresh, rather than repeating old ideas. I'm genuinely excited to see how this system expands. Now let's move to the fifth major chain, the Revenge Tower. This might be the most complex defensive building in the entire game. The Revenge Tower starts the battle completely dormant, but it grows stronger as more of your base is destroyed. After 5 buildings are destroyed, it activates as a powerful single-target attacker. After 20 buildings fall, it gains a bounce mechanic, hitting a second target. After 40 buildings are gone, it reaches maximum fury, attacking up to 3 targets with boosted attack speed. This creates a completely new defensive dynamic. Most defenses behave the same from the moment the battle begins until it ends. But the revenge tower evolves as the attack progresses, which forces the attacker to consider pacing and timing. Slow or grindy strategies will suffer more because the tower will become increasingly lethal as the attack drags on. Alongside this, we also have the new merged wizard towers at TH18. The Super Wizard tower chains lightning across up to 15 units, similar to the Electro Dragon, making it significantly more complex than the classic Wizard Tower's simple area splash. We're seeing a clear trend. Defenses are no longer just static buildings. They're becoming multi-stage behavior-based systems. This is crucial for balancing the game as attacking strategies become more refined over time. Simple defenses like cannons or archer towers worked in the early years, but modern players are far more skilled, and attacks have become incredibly sophisticated. To keep things challenging, defenses need to grow, just as much as offensive strategies do. And the Revenge Tower is proof that Supercell is moving in that direction. In the future, we might see defenses that adapt based on troop types, or defenses that have multiple phases with different effects. The design space is wide open now, and finally, the sixth major chain, the Fancy Shop. This may actually be the most impactful addition for long-term players. The Fancy Shop is a new exclusive shop that unlocks when you earn Sparky Stones from completing Supercharge upgrades and crafted defense module upgrades. It contains unique cosmetic items that will likely vary depending on your Town Hall level and match the theme of the progression stage you're in. This is the first major system designed specifically for max-level players in years. Historically, once players maxed their Town Hall, their motivation dropped sharply. Besides wars or trophy pushing, there was nothing to work towards. Many players would become inactive simply because they felt stuck with no progression left. But the Fancy Shop solves this problem. Max players now have an ongoing progression track based entirely on exclusive cosmetics. These aren't random skins. They're tied to achievements that only active players can earn during specific content cycles that makes them rare, prestigious, and meaningful. Another smart move is that older Supercharge and crafted defense upgrades are retroactively converted into Sparky Stones, so long-time players are rewarded immediately for their previous effort. This encourages loyalty and gives max players a reason to stay engaged even after finishing all upgrades. This new system also gives Supercell a way to add ongoing content for max players without needing to release a new Town Hall too frequently. As the Fancy Shop expands, we could see special spell effects, troop animations, hero skins, or even base decorations that are exclusive to dedicated players. Overall, the Fancy Shop is a major step towards solving long-standing endgame problems and supporting long-term retention. All of these new features combined make Town Hall 18 one of the most transformative updates in Clash of Clans history. Supercell has shown they're willing to rethink core systems, remove legacy features, and introduce bold, innovative mechanics to keep the game evolving. This update proves that Clash isn't settling into predictable patterns. Instead, it's stepping into a future full of surprises, experimentation, and deeper gameplay.